For these questions, we're going to write equations and fill in an input-output table. And remember, an equation is just a number sentence that includes the variable, the unknown. So let's look and see how we would do this. So on number 1, I see that I have an input-output table, and it's the input is going to be yards, and the output is going to be feet. So the first thing I need to do is write my two equations. So I need to know my rule. So since yard is bigger than a foot, horse to fly, multiply. And what do you multiply by? Well, the number in 1. So there are 3 feet in a yard, so I need to multiply by 3. So my rule is times 3. So my equations would be yards times 3 equal feet. Or I could write the opposite, feet divided by 3 equals yards. And now the directions said to use these equations to help you fill in the table. So for the first 3, I want to use my first equation because I'm looking for feet and my first equation ends in feet. So this will be a good one to help me figure it out. So for this one, I would just substitute the y for a 1. So I would have 1 times 3 equals f. So f would equal 3. Okay, for this one, I would substitute a 3 for the y. So I would have 3 times 3, and that equals the f. So 3 times 3 is 9, so the feet equals 9. Okay, for this one, I would substitute the 7 for the y. So I'd have 7 times 3 equals feet. So 7 times 3 is 21, so I'll put 21 in the output. But for the last one, I'm missing the yards. So I wouldn't want to use this equation because it gives me an answer that's in feet. So I would want to use this equation because that gives me an answer that's in yards. So all I'm going to do is substitute this 222 for the f. So I would have 222 divided by 3, and that's going to equal the y, or the yards that goes right here. So then I'm just going to do the math. So the answer is 74. So y equals 74. So let's do one more. On number 2, we have feet to inches. So we're going from big to small, or horse to fly, multiply. And how do you know what to multiply for? Well, you just ask yourself how many are in 1. And there are 12 inches in 1, so I'm going to need to multiply by 12. So the first thing I'm going to do is write my equations. So I'm going to have feet times 12 equals inches. Okay, and now I can write it the other way, backwards. I divided by 12 equals f, or inches divided by 12 equals feet. And now the directions say use these equations to help you figure out the answer. Well, in these 3 blanks, I'm going to want to use my first equation because my first equation is the one that ends with inches, and that's what I'm looking for, the inches. So then all I have to do is substitute the f for the numbers. So I'm going to substitute 1 for this f and get 1 times 12, which equals 12. So now I'm going to substitute the 3 for the f. So if I put a 3 here, I would have 3 times 12 equals I. So 3 times 12 is 36. So I is 36. Okay, and now I need to take this 7 and substitute it for the f. So 7 times 12 is 84. So this is going to be 84. The last one, though, I know the inches. I need to find the feet. So the equation that's going to help me is this one, where I'm looking for the feet. So then I just have to fill in 504 where the I was. So I have 504 divided by 12, and that's going to give me my number of feet. So over here, I'm just going to do the math. So my answer will be 42. All right, you try some on your own, and if you need help, you can come back and rewatch the video. Good luck.